Welcome back, gamers, to part 2 of Let's Hack Challenge of the 5 Realms. Now, on my previous videos I've made for Let's Play Challenge of the 5 Realms, I ran into a snag where in Freywood, and it's the only place in the entire game that it happened, everyone dies. Just every single person I run into dies whenever I go to my character screen. No matter what I try, I cannot fix this. And some of you may think it was due to the hex editing, but that game I actually never hex edited. I did make a backup, and I replaced the backup before. And to show you that I've replaced the backup and that wasn't the issue, I am now going to be hex editing the actual game, which I have already done. Now, with that game running into that snag, and everybody dying, I had to spend the last few days actually replaying through the entire game to get back to where I was. And I just recently got back to where I was. In order to do it and fast track it, I did hex edit all of my characters and make them super powerful. And I'm going to show you what I did here, just so you can see all the characters and how you can make any character a magic user. So, to start off, we're going to go ahead and scroll down to Retlaw. There he is. Name starts with R, right here at 82. If you wanted to change the names here, you could, but you'd have to find out the letters that correspond with each of the numbers. They are all in order, I believe starting with 0, 1. But again, I'm not sure. As you can see, 82 here is R, so the way it works is kind of different. It's basically the value of what it represents, because with hex editing, again, it goes 0 through A, well, say 0 through 9, and then A through F. Those are the only values that you can put in. FF is, of course, 255. Because there's basically 255 combinations between those two numbers, between the 0 and the letters A through F. Like 0A is 10, whereas 09 is 9, and so forth. But this is not in hex, this is actually showing the actual values. That's if you just want to change the name, which I do not. So what we're going to do here, I made his health at the beginning of this game 100, and getting all the way to Freywood in just 9 days, mind you, by teleporting everywhere. His health is now max 130, with current health at 126. Now what I want to show you is how to make people magic users. So we're going to go through this and see what we can do. Alright, here you have our archers. And you can see we have 150, 150. I did not adjust the archers any. There's no need. They're already really powerful. And we're not going to make them magic users, which we would do right here with these 3 zeros. And the main thing, when you adjust the magic points of one of your characters, you have to make sure you also adjust the magical. Let's get down to the next one here, so I can show you. So Valakor is going to be the first one we adjust. I just picked him up, have not adjusted him yet. This is his base stats. Okay, so we come out with him having his first stats here. This is the first column of abilities that you actually, or attributes that you actually can change. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now number 4 is his magic. Now you want to change his magical to whatever you intend his magic points to be. Now I want his to be 200 so it doesn't get too high in the game. So I'm going to change that to 200. Okay, and move on down, get to his health points, which is right here, 46 and 46. Now you'll see right here where his dodge is. He's the only one that actually has his dodge showing at 255. Now, they set him up in the game like that, and he seems to work. I would not adjust any other stats to 255. He's just a special character that allows 255 max. But anyway, we're going to change his health to 200. I think 200 is just, for late game, 200 is just a good number. If you want to be nice and powerful. 100 still a little low for late game. So let's go ahead and change that to 200, 200. And now we've already got his magic to 200, so we can go ahead and move on down to his magic points. You see he has 190 in sword, and I can't remember what his shield, 220 in sword, sorry, and 190 in shield. So he does best with a sword and shield. So we're going to move on down to his magic points now. You can see here, this is his backpack, where it shows a particular item he has in his backpack and the amount of that item that he has. So right here he has item number 96, and he has one of those items. The amount always goes after whatever the item is. So let's move on down to his magic points. Here we go. He has 62. Remember, 62 was what his magical was up above. So we're going to go ahead and change this to the new 200. Doing this to make it nice and easy to teleport anywhere you want. Make as many people magic users as you want, just to make teleporting just a quick, easy go-through in the game. Now you're going to notice all my characters in this are going to be very different than the characters I had in my other game, because again, I had to start all over. And I kind of fast-tracked it, skipped through all the dialogue because I know what it says anyway, and I just did everything to get back to where we were as quick as possible. The first 8 days generally move along before you can get to fly, which makes you move a little bit quicker, and then get to teleport, which makes you move instant. So we're going to move on down. King Aramakan, I'm not sure if I want to keep him yet, but I'm going to go ahead and make him a magic user, because he currently is not one. The way you can see that is these 3 zeros right here. Learn spell, bind spell, and cast spell. In the other game, it was acting a little different on what these were, so there's something going on with that other game irregardless. But this is, I went ahead and bought the Steam version of the game, brand new download, and we're starting fresh with a fresh version of the game. But let's go ahead and look here. He is at 10 magic points. As you can see, the number 10 right here. And we're going to go ahead and change that to 200. 200 magical. And we're going to give him 200 health and 200 health. We're going to move down to his spell learning and change that to 200. Give him a nice high number so he's never going to fail. And you can change all these stats to 200. As long as you know what they are, you can change them. But some things you just do not want to change. For instance, you would not want to change fly, because it really doesn't make a difference if your fly is at 0 or your fly is at 100. Trust me, I've tried. Even if you put your fly at 100 or higher, then you still are not able to fly inside buildings. It's just something the game doesn't allow you to do unless you're an Aryan, which you're never controlling an Aryan in the game unless you're in combat. But let's move on down to his actual magic points. I've already stolen his crown, by the way. Let's move down to his... And I'm keeping King Aramakan because having him, he actually has some very interesting things he says when he's in your party. Like, because of his whole charity thing and being against it and getting completely changed by us, when you go into, like, beggar villages, he's like, is there a beggar here that I can give gold to? I'd like to give gold to a beggar. Or were you just, like, saying that to get me out of my house? So it's pretty cool. But let's go down here to his magic and change that to what we changed it before, 200. Doing this just to make him just a magic user, just somebody who can use magic as much as need be. And of course, Stellarex, he's already been changed and set up. He has, 190 spell points from the get-go, so I just left that be. I did, however, change his health to 200, and since changing it, he's moved up 15 points. And moving on down, I won't need to change anything on Stellarex because he's already... Maybe go ahead and max his spell points out, because he's at 190 and he has 5 left, because I've been using him a lot. So 190. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and move on to Heltura. I already made her 200 and 200. 200 magical here. 222 is what she's went up to in health. Moving on down to her magic points. And we're going to change that to 200 because I've been using her a lot as well. Just to go ahead and max them out, give them the max amount. Ventrax Knights, we're going to leave those how they are. No need to adjust them. They're perfectly fine how they are, but I did have one of them die. So, we're going to go ahead and change this number back to a 5 instead of a 4. Because whenever one of them dies, it brings this number down. So, go ahead and make him a 5, so I got 5 of those Ventrax Knights now. Now, after you do this, make sure when you go in the game, make sure you go down, and you actually, when you get in the game, make sure you put 5 of your suits of armor on, because now they're only holding 4, and there's going to be one dude without a suit of armor, because, he died. And when he dies, he takes his armor with him. So make sure you put 5 suits of armor on them, but we're going to go ahead and give them 200 hit points, so now they each going to have a nice, I think it's a nice, like, 45? No, 40 spell points apiece? Yeah, 40 spell points apiece. Should be. Yeah, 40 spell points, for 40 hit points apiece. And it's a decent number. I mean, we can bring it higher to bring them 50 spell points apiece, but then any leveling they do could go past the 254 mark, which we don't want to happen. Okay, and let's move on down. We're not going to make them no magic users. Alright, we get down here to their spell points, and you just leave that be because we're not adjusting that. Now, Paris Havanus. Always liked Paris, so I'm going to go ahead and make him a primary magic user. Here he has 34. We're going to make that 200. Go over to the 102, make that 200 health. And then 200 health again, and move on down to our learn spell, bind spell, and cast spell. Alright, now these are the ones I intend to keep. I need to have one placeholder for people I want to get rid of. And I think I'm going to make that one of these down here, probably Emperor Claret III, because I do still have him in my party. So let's take a look. Alright, so we got that. We got his magic points up. Now we need to adjust his good old magic points. Alright, now for the Knights of Virtue. As much as I like having knights, you know what, I'm going to leave them how they are. I was thinking about making them into a group of 5 wizards, but I'm already going to have enough wizards in the game. And it's just kind of overkill. I'm already overkilling way too much. But, I mean, this is generally just so we can get through these last videos. Because, yeah, with that glitch I ran into with everybody dying, I kind of had to. There's really no choice. So, we're going to go ahead and adjust their health, though. Make sure they're nice and up on their health. which they only have 4 people, it looks like, because, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me take a look at them here. I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just scroll up here real quick, just to be sure before I change this. Let's look at Paris. There should be 5, just to make sure. Yep, 4, 5, and then number 6 is where the hell starts. Okay, yeah, I had one of the Knights of Virtue die as well, so we're going to go ahead and change that. Alter that to be 5. There we go. Alter that to be 200. There we go. And get them all back to full health. Because see, their current health is 68. Spread between, that's why one of them died. Spread between 5 guys, that's, 12 hit points apiece. They'll drop like flies with that. So we're going to go ahead and bring them up to full health with 200, 5 people. And let's move on down. And here we have Emperor Claret III. We're not going to adjust him. He's just a placeholder. Already took his crown, and we gotta have somebody who is a placeholder in the game that you just plan on getting rid of. And I've had him in my party before. He doesn't say anything really neat when you go into cities and stuff, whereas King of Ramakhan says some good stuff. You may notice there is an old favorite missing now. Sir John Oldcastle, early on in this game, after I hadn't saved for about 5 hours, got killed when I was killing the warden of Monoplay. The warden exploded Sir John Oldcastle, and he is no longer with us. It's a sad day, but I made the choice of just letting him go rather than redoing 5 hours of gameplay. Yeah, call me a monster if you will, but it was my choice. And that's it. Now we get down here to the last part of this video, where I'm going to show you what you're looking at here. After all your characters in the hex editor, which you can see right here is the magic points of Sir Emperor Claret III, we get to your chest. Now this is every item you have in your chest and how many of each item you have. There's about 254, maybe 255 items in the game. Now, like over here, I wouldn't say there's 255. I think it's just 254, because right here this is an item, but I think that's just a blank spot. Again, I'm not sure, but I always make it safe to go ahead and go where you know it should be looking like it's starting, which is right here at the 116. Here it looks pretty sure that this is your chest. You can pretty much bank on that, because what you see is a number and then a low amount of how many you have. So we're going to go ahead and take one of these numbers and change it from 3 to something high. Let's say 20. Whatever this is, we're now going to have 20 of it. And I will show you that in the video I do next, which will be the actual going through Freywood. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see me open the chest. First, you're going to see me go to people and then not die, of course. You're going to see all the changes of my characters, all their stats super high. I'm going to go ahead and learn all the spells on the casters beforehand, so you're not sitting there watching that for a long time. But I'm going to show you, one of the first things in the video I'm going to show you is everything I changed in the hex editor, and everything that, and this, 20 items right here. But that's pretty much everything you need to know in order to hack Challenge of the Five Realms, and do it efficiently any way you want. But, as always, back up all your save game files before doing anything, as I have done. And make sure that if there's any issues, you make any mistake, you can just copy right back over with your original save games. Save that games.dat folder somewhere where it's nice and safe. Talk to you later, gamers. Take it easy.